Commander James Anderson stood motionless at the observation deck of Defense Station Alpha, his weathered hands clasped behind his back. Through the reinforced windows, Earth hung like a blue jewel against the backdrop of endless stars. But unlike 30 years ago, the space around the planet wasn't empty anymore. Thousands of defense platforms, weapon stations, and automated sentries formed a protective web around humanity's homeworld. He remembered the day everything changed, when humanity learned they weren't alone in the universe. That memory was burned into his mind like a brand. He had been a young lieutenant then, stationed at a small radar facility in the middle of nowhere. The first signs came as strange readings on their instruments, objects moving at impossible speeds, radiation signatures that didn't match anything known to science. The station's computer terminal beeped, pulling him back to the present. "Commander, deep space sensors are picking up unusual activity in Sector 7, reported Officer Mike from his station. Anderson nodded, but didn't turn around. These alerts had become common over the years. Various alien species testing Earth's defenses, probing for weaknesses they would never find. "Standard response protocol," Anderson ordered, his voice carrying the weight of experience. Within seconds, 3 nearby defense platforms rotated silently in space, their weapons charging with a soft blue glow. The approaching ships, whatever they were, would receive the standard warning package, a comprehensive database of every alien species that had tried to invade Earth, and how each of them had failed. Anderson allowed himself a small smile. The aliens never expected humanity to be so adaptable. The first invasion had caught Earth completely unprepared. Cities burned, millions died, and for a brief moment, it seemed like humanity would join the long list of species that had been conquered and enslaved by the galaxy's powers. But there was something the aliens didn't understand about humans, something that made them different from other species they had encountered. Humans didn't just fight back. They learned. They adapted. They evolved. Walking to his command console, Anderson brought up the holographic display showing Earth's defensive grid. Layer upon layer of protection surrounded the planet, each built from lessons learned in blood and fire. The inner layer consisted of traditional weaponry, railguns, missile platforms, and energy weapons reverse-engineered from the first invasion force. But the outer layers, those were something else entirely. "Sir," Mike called out again, "the objects in Sector 7 have changed course. They're moving away at high speed." Anderson nodded. "Send them the final package." This was standard procedure now. Any ship that came too close and then tried to retreat received humanity's final warning message. The message was simple, broadcast in every known alien language. "You have approached Earth's defense perimeter. You have witnessed a fraction of our defensive capabilities. You have received our historical database of defeated invaders. Remember this, every species that has attacked Earth has made us stronger. Their technology became ours. Their strategies became our lessons. Their defeats became our victories. We are not hostile. We do not seek conquest, but we are ready and we are waiting. Spread the word. Earth is not your testing ground. Earth is not your conquest. Earth is where empires come to die." The commander watched as the unknown ships disappeared from the sensors. They would spread the word, just like all the others. And somewhere out there, another alien civilization would learn about Earth, the planet that refused to be conquered, the species that turned defeat into strength. Anderson turned his attention back to Earth. The night side was coming into view, cities glowing like strings of pearls across the continents. 30 years ago, those lights had gone dark as alien ships blocked out the sun. Never again. Humanity had paid for its peace with blood and determination, and now they stood ready, not as conquerors, not as victims, but as guardians of their own destiny. The defense platforms continued their silent watch, their weapons powered down but ready. Earth spun peacefully below, protected by the most sophisticated defense network ever created, a testament to humanity's greatest strength, the ability to learn from every defeat, to grow stronger from every attack, to turn the weapons of their enemies into tools of their own survival. And they would be ready for whatever came next. The old video played on the command center's main screen, its footage grainy but clear enough to send chills down every spine in the room. Commander Anderson used it to train new officers, to remind them why they stood guard. The date stamp read July 15, 2094, the day everything changed. The recording showed a normal summer morning. People walked to work, children played in parks, and traffic moved through city streets. Then the sky changed. Dark shapes blocked the sun, casting massive shadows over skyscrapers. The alien ships appeared without warning, their black hulls stretching for miles across the blue sky. This was New York, Anderson explained to the group of young officers gathered around him. But similar scenes played out in every major city across Earth. We weren't ready. We had no defense against their weapons. Our most advanced fighters were like toys against their ships. The footage shifted to military responses. Earth's armies fought back with everything they had. Tanks fired at ships that shrugged off their shells like raindrops. Fighter jets launched missiles that couldn't even scratch the alien hulls. Nuclear weapons, humanity's last resort, were caught and contained by strange energy fields that turned them into harmless light shows. But then, Anderson continued, pointing to a new sequence of footage. Something happened that the aliens didn't expect. We stopped running. The video showed groups of soldiers and civilians working together. While alien weapons turned cities to ash, humans began studying every piece of debris, every damaged alien fighter that crashed. Scientists worked in underground bunkers. Engineers reverse-engineered alien technology in hidden facilities, and military strategists studied every battle, learning the aliens' patterns. They thought we would surrender after the first week, Anderson said, his voice firm. When we didn't, they thought we would break in the first month. When that didn't happen, they expected us to fall within 3 months. But they didn't understand human nature. The screen showed the turning point, the Battle of Denver. A group of human scientists and soldiers had managed to capture a damaged alien fighter. Instead of destroying it, they learned from it. They discovered how the alien shields worked, how their weapons functioned, and most importantly, their weaknesses. The aliens had become lazy, Anderson explained. They had conquered so many worlds, they stopped innovating. Their technology was advanced, but it hadn't changed in centuries. They never expected us to understand it, let alone improve it. The footage shifted to the first human victory, a modified human fighter, equipped with reverse-engineered alien technology, managed to bring down one of their capital ships. The massive vessel crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, but more importantly, it proved the aliens weren't invincible. That's when everything changed, Anderson said, pausing the video. We had spent 3 months studying their every move, learning their patterns, understanding their technology. While they thought we were just running and hiding, we were actually preparing. The final sequence showed humanity's counterattack. Human ships, now equipped with modified alien technology, launched from hidden bases. They had taken the aliens' weapons and made them better, more efficient. Human creativity combined with alien technology created something entirely new. The aliens made a critical mistake, Anderson continued. They judged us by their standards. On their worlds, defeat meant submission. On Earth, defeat meant learning, adapting, and coming back stronger. The video ended with the retreat of the alien fleet. After 6 months of what they thought would be an easy conquest, they faced an enemy that had not only survived, but had turned their own technology against them. The sight of their ships fleeing Earth's orbit brought a fierce pride to everyone watching. That's why we maintain our guard, Anderson concluded, looking at each young officer in turn. That's why we keep improving our defenses, not because we want war, but because we remember. We remember what happens when you're not ready. We remember what it takes to survive. And most importantly, we remember that humanity's greatest strength isn't our weapons or technology. It's our ability to face defeat, learn from it, and emerge stronger. The lights came back on in the command center. The young officers sat in silence, understanding now why Earth's defense network was so extensive, why humanity maintained its vigilant watch. They weren't just protecting Earth. They were making sure that the lessons learned in blood would never need to be learned again. The alert came during the night shift. Deep space sensors lit up like Christmas trees, showing hundreds of ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel. They appeared from multiple directions, using tactics that might have worked 30 years ago. But this wasn't the same Earth they had heard about in their intelligence reports. Commander Anderson walked calmly to the central command platform of Defense Station Alpha. Around him, officers monitored their stations with practiced efficiency. No one showed panic. No one rushed. They had trained for this thousands of times. "Report," Anderson ordered, his voice steady. Officer Mike brought up the main holographic display. "Multiple fleets, sir. Largest group we've seen in 5 years. Coming in from 3 vectors." Red dots appeared on the display, showing the incoming ships. Based on their energy signatures, we're dealing with at least 4 different alien species working together. Anderson nodded. They're learning, combining their forces instead of attacking alone. He studied the tactical display for a moment. Time until they reached the outer marker. 2 hours at current speed. "Sir." "Very well." Anderson pressed a button on his command console. "This is Commander Anderson. All stations go to alert level 2. Begin charging the defense grid. Prepare the message package." Throughout Earth's orbital space, thousands of defense platforms hummed to life. Shield generators created overlapping fields of protection. Weapon systems powered up, their energy readings deliberately left visible to approaching ships. Earth was done hiding its strength. "Message package ready, sir," reported the communications officer. "Send it on all frequencies, all known alien languages." The message that launched toward the incoming fleet wasn't just a warning. It was a history lesson. First came the images, recordings of every alien invasion Earth had faced. The first devastating attack that nearly succeeded. The Battle of Denver, where humans first reversed alien technology. The failed invasion by the mining fleet that thought Earth would be an easy target. The attempted conquest by the religious zealots who believed Earth was their prophesied homeland. But more importantly, the message showed what happened to each of these invaders, how their ships now formed part of Earth's defense fleet, how their weapons had been studied, improved, and turned against other attackers, how their tactics had been analyzed and countered. "They're receiving the message, sir," the communications officer reported. "All ships are slowing down." Anderson watched as the red dots on the display reduced speed. The next part of the message would be reaching them now. Detailed scans of their own ships, showing that Earth already knew their capabilities, knew their weaknesses. "Sir, we're getting a response." "Put it through." A harsh voice filled the command center, speaking in multiple alien languages before switching to heavily accented English. "Your defiance is noted, Earth dwellers, but you face the combined might of 4 space-faring empires. Your defeat is inevitable. Your technology, no matter how advanced, cannot match our combined strength." Anderson smiled. They still didn't understand. He pressed the transmit button. "This is Commander Anderson of Earth Defense Command. We've heard similar claims before. Let me be clear. You're not the first to try, and you won't be the last to fail. But we're going to give you something we didn't give the others. A chance to leave." He nodded to the weapons officer. Across Earth's orbital space, thousands of weapons locked onto targets. Not to fire, just to show they could. "Look at your tactical displays," Anderson continued. "Every ship in your fleet is targeted by at least 3 different weapon systems. Systems we developed by studying those who came before you. Would you like to know what happened to them?" The alien commander didn't respond. "The choice is yours," Anderson said. "But know this, every attack makes us stronger. Every invasion teaches us more. We don't want war, but we're ready for it. Earth is not your battlefield. It's not your conquest. It's the graveyard of empires." He let that sink in before delivering the final part of the message. You have 1 hour to retreat beyond the outer marker. After that, we will demonstrate our capabilities on your lid ships. The data package we sent shows what happened to the last fleet that didn't take this warning seriously. We're ready. We're waiting. Choose wisely. The command center fell silent as the message went out. On the tactical display, the red dots representing the alien fleet stopped their advance completely. Now came the moment of truth. Would they learn from history, or add their names to Earth's growing list of defeated invaders? The alien fleet hung in space like a cloud of angry stars. They had slowed their approach but hadn't retreated. Instead, they began to spread out, trying to find gaps in Earth's defenses. Their response came exactly as the 1-hour deadline expired. Incoming transmission, Officer Mike announced. The main screen lit up with the image of the alien commander, a tall, scaled creature with multiple eyes that glowed with bioluminescence. Earth Command, the alien's voice rumbled through the speakers. Your defiance is admirable but foolish. We have studied your previous victories. We know your tactics. Our combined fleet carries weapons you have never encountered, technology you cannot hope to match. Commander Anderson stood calmly at his station. Around him, the command center crew continued their work without showing any sign of concern. They had seen this before: the threats, the display of confidence, the attempt to shake humanity's resolve. You seem to have missed the point of our message, Anderson replied. Every alien fleet that attacked Earth said the same things. They all had superior technology. They all had unbeatable weapons. Would you like to know where those weapons are now? He pressed a button, and the defense grid lit up. Hundreds of weapon platforms activated, each one powered by technology taken from previous invaders. Some carried energy weapons reverse-engineered from the first invasion fleet. Others used shield-piercing technology developed from studying the mining fleet's drilling beams. A few platforms even sported gravity weapons that the religious zealots had once thought would crush Earth's cities. The alien commander's eyes narrowed. Our scans show your defensive capabilities. You have indeed adapted well. But adaptation has limits. We bring weapons beyond your understanding. As if to demonstrate, one of the alien ships fired a strange, twisting beam of energy at a nearby asteroid. The massive rock didn't explode. It simply ceased to exist, converted into pure energy. Anderson didn't flinch. Instead, he nodded to his weapons officer. Defensive Platform Delta 7. Demonstrate the Thompson response. A small, unassuming platform near the asteroid field activated. It fired what looked like a simple beam of light. When the beam hit another asteroid, the massive rock didn't just disappear. It collapsed into a controlled microsingularity that lasted exactly 2 seconds before dispersing harmlessly. Impressive weapon you have there, Anderson said to the stunned alien commander. We developed something similar 3 years ago, after studying debris from the Centauri incursion. Would you like to see what we've done to improve it? The alien's scales shifted color, a sign of agitation. Impossible. You couldn't have advanced so quickly, Anderson finished. That's what they all say. Here's what you don't understand. Every attack on Earth brings new technology for us to study, new weapons for us to improve. Your fleet isn't bringing us a threat. You're bringing us an opportunity. The alien commander's response was cut off by urgent reports from their own ships. Earth's defense platforms were powering up in sequence, each one demonstrating a different advanced weapon system. Quantum disruptors, phase cannons, temporal distortion beams, technology that the aliens thought was their advantage, shown to be already part of Earth's arsenal. Your weapons are impressive, Anderson continued, but they're not new to us. That matter conversion beam. We've developed 6 different countermeasures for it. The phase shift technology your ships are using for shields. We improved that design last year. You're not showing us anything we haven't seen and mastered. The alien fleet began to shift position. Their confident attack formation changed into a more defensive stance. On their screens, they watched as Earth's orbital defenses continued their display of power, not attacking, just demonstrating that they could. "So here's your choice," Anderson said, his voice firm but not threatening. "You can retreat, taking with you the knowledge that Earth is not a target to be conquered. Or you can attack, and your ships will join our defense fleet, either as captured technology or as scrap to be studied. We're ready for either option. The choice is yours." The command center fell silent as they waited for the alien response. The combined fleet, which had arrived expecting to find a vulnerable planet, now faced a civilization that had turned the weapons of its enemies into its own defense. The aliens had come to teach humanity a lesson about power. Instead, they were learning one about adaptation and survival. Now they had to decide, would they be the next fleet to help Earth grow stronger, or would they be the first to learn from history? The alien fleet remained in position, their ships still in defensive formation. Commander Anderson could almost feel their confusion and hesitation. They had come expecting an easy victory, but found something very different. "Sir," Officer Mike reported, "3 ships are breaking formation. They're moving toward the outer defense ring." Anderson nodded. It was always the same. There were always some who needed a demonstration. "Launch Interceptor 1, he ordered. Standard demonstration protocol. From Earth's orbital shipyards, a single vessel emerged. It was small compared to the alien warships, sleek and simple in design. To an untrained eye, it might have looked harmless. But this was humanity's newest interceptor, carrying 30 years of reverse-engineered and improved alien technology. "This is Captain Tom of Earth Defense Interceptor 1, a new voice announced on all channels. "Beginning demonstration run." The small ship accelerated, its engines leaving no trace in space. This was one of humanity's newest innovations, completely silent and invisible propulsion, developed from studying the stealth ships that had tried to slip past Earth's defenses 2 years ago. The alien fleet tracked the interceptor with their weapons, but didn't fire. They were waiting to see what this single ship could do. They didn't wait long. The interceptor fired what looked like a simple energy beam at the nearest alien vessel. Instead of hitting shields or armor, the beam simply passed through them. A moment later, all lights on the alien ship went dark. "Energy weapons disabled on Target 1, Captain Tom reported calmly. "Moving to Target 2. The second alien ship tried to evade, engaging advanced stealth systems, but the interceptor tracked it perfectly, firing another specialized beam. This time, the alien ship's engines shut down completely. "Propulsion systems disabled on Target 2, Tom announced. "Target 3, preparing for shield demonstration." The third alien ship, the largest of the group, raised its most powerful shields. Energy readings from its defensive systems were off the charts. The interceptor fired again, but this time used 3 different weapons in sequence. The first shot created a microscopic quantum tunnel through the shield. The second shot used that tunnel to deliver a precise electromagnetic pulse. The third shot wasn't a weapon at all. It simply scanned the now defenseless ship to show that all its systems were exposed. "Full tactical scan completed," Tom reported. "All 3 targets effectively neutralized. No structural damage, no casualties. Demonstration complete." The command center was silent as the interceptor turned and headed back to Earth. Behind it, 3 of the most advanced alien warships drifted powerless in space, their crews unharmed but their weapons and defenses completely useless. The alien commander's image appeared on the main screen again. The bioluminescent glow of its eyes had dimmed considerably. "How?" it demanded. "Those ships carried our most advanced defensive systems." Anderson allowed himself a small smile. "Those defensive systems were based on technology we've already seen and countered. Your shields, we learned to bypass those from the Third Invasion Fleet. Your stealth systems, improved versions of what the Centauri ships used. Your power grid, similar to what we studied from the mining fleet's wreckage." He gestured to the 3 disabled ships. What you just saw wasn't our most powerful weapon or our most advanced ship. It was simply one of our standard interceptors, designed to disable rather than destroy. Would you like to see what our actual warships can do? The alien commander's scales shifted through several colors before settling on a pale shade. You disabled our ships without destroying them. Of course, Anderson replied. Destruction is easy. Precision takes skill. We've learned that causing unnecessary casualties doesn't benefit anyone. This demonstration wasn't meant to threaten you. It was meant to educate you. The rest of the alien fleet was already beginning to move back, increasing their distance from Earth's defense perimeter. They had come expecting to find a primitive world ripe for conquest. Instead, they found a civilization that had turned every attack, every invasion, into an opportunity to grow stronger. Remember this, Anderson said to the alien commander. Every ship you see in Earth's defense fleet, every weapon in our arsenal, came from those who thought they could conquer us. We don't want your ships or your technology. But if you force us, we will take them, study them, and make them better. The demonstration was over. Now the aliens had to decide if they wanted to be remembered as the fleet that learned from others' mistakes, or the fleet that became Earth's next technological upgrade. The alien commander requested a face-to-face meeting. It was an unexpected development, but not an unwelcome one. Commander Anderson stood in Defense Station Alpha's main conference room, watching as the alien delegation's shuttle docked. Their weapons are powered down, Officer Mike reported from his mobile terminal. Scans show only 5 individuals on board. The alien commander entered the room, flanked by 4 others of different species. Each represented one of the fleets that had joined forces for this attempted invasion. They moved cautiously, their eyes taking in every detail of the human station. "Welcome to Defense Station Alpha," Anderson said, standing at the head of the conference table. "Please, be seated." The aliens sat down, their movements stiff with tension. The main commander, a scaled being with bioluminescent eyes, spoke first. "We have questions." Anderson nodded. "I expected you would. That's why we agreed to this meeting." The conference room's holographic system activated, displaying a 3-dimensional map of Earth's defense network. It showed layer upon layer of protection, from the outer early warning systems to the interplanetary shields. "Impossible," one of the other aliens said, its tentacles waving in agitation. "No species develops this quickly. No civilization advances this fast." "Under normal circumstances, you'd be right," Anderson replied. He touched a control, and the display changed to show the history of Earth's defensive evolution. But circumstances haven't been normal for Earth. We had to adapt or die. Every invasion forced us to learn, to improve, to think differently. The hologram showed the progression, from Earth's primitive defenses 30 years ago to the current network of advanced technology. Each major upgrade was dated, corresponding to different invasion attempts. These improvements, the third alien spoke, its crystalline form reflecting the hologram's light. They matched the timing of your intelligence reports about failed invasions. Yes. Anderson touched another control. Every attack taught us something new. Your matter conversion beam. He pointed to the scaled commander. We learned about that technology from debris we studied 3 years ago. Your phase shields. He nodded to the tentacled alien, reverse-engineered from a crashed ship during the 6th invasion attempt. The 4th alien, a being that seemed to be made of living metal, leaned forward. "You're telling us that each attack made us stronger," Anderson finished. "Exactly. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our weapons. It's our ability to learn, to adapt, to take what defeats us and turn it into what makes us stronger." The hologram changed again, showing the disabled ships from their earlier demonstration. "We could have destroyed those ships. Instead, we showed you that we can disable your most advanced technology with precision and control. That wasn't a threat. It was a lesson." The alien commander's scales shifted through various colors before settling. "A lesson?" "Yes. Earth doesn't want war. We don't seek conquest. All we want is to be left in peace. But we remember what happened when we weren't ready. We remember the cost of being unprepared. So we stay ready. We keep learning. We keep improving. Anderson stood and walked to the window, looking out at Earth below. You have a decision to make. You can leave, taking with you the knowledge that Earth is not a target to be conquered. You can tell others what you've seen here. Or we can attack, the crystalline alien finished, and become your next learning opportunity. Exactly. Anderson turned back to face them. Every ship in your fleet carries technology we haven't seen before. If you attack, that technology will become ours. Your weapons will become our defenses. Your shields will become our innovations. The choice is yours. The 5 aliens looked at each other, their species differences set aside as they faced a common realization. They had come to conquer a world, only to find that this world had turned conquest itself into a source of strength. The commander stood, its bioluminescent eyes glowing softly. We must discuss this with our fleets. But I believe we have learned something valuable here today. Anderson nodded. That's all we ask. Learn from history, so we don't have to repeat it. As the aliens left the conference room, the commander paused at the door. Your species is unique, Commander Anderson. You don't just survive attacks. You grow stronger from them. That's the difference between your species and ours, Anderson replied. You see defeat as an end. We see it as a beginning. Commander Anderson stood at his familiar spot on Defense Station Alpha's observation deck, watching as the alien fleet prepared to leave. Their massive ships were turning away from Earth, their weapons powered down, their engines warming up for faster-than-light travel. All alien ships maintaining retreat vector, Officer Mike reported from his station. Long-range sensors show no signs of deception or hidden forces. Anderson nodded. The aliens had made their choice, perhaps the first wise choice any alien fleet had made regarding Earth in the past 30 years. But there was one final message to deliver. Open a channel to all ships, he ordered. The communications officer signaled ready, and Anderson spoke clearly and calmly. To all vessels preparing to depart Earth space, you came here expecting to find an easy target. Instead, you found something unique in the galaxy, a species that turns invasion into innovation, defeat into determination, and enemy technology into our own defense. On the main screen, he could see the alien commanders listening. Their ships had paused their retreat to receive this final message. When you return to your worlds, share what you've learned here. Tell them about our defenses, built from the wreckage of those who tried to conquer us. Tell them about our weapons, improved versions of those once used against us. But most importantly, tell them why Earth remains free. Anderson touched a control, and the defense grid activated one final time. Not to attack, but to demonstrate. Thousands of platforms lit up, each one representing a lesson learned in blood and fire. Each one a testament to humanity's resilience. Every fleet that attacked Earth became part of our story. The first invasion taught us we weren't alone in the universe. The second taught us how to reverse engineer alien technology. The third showed us how to improve upon it. Each attack made us stronger. Each defeat made us smarter. The holographic display showed the progression. From Earth's primitive defenses 30 years ago to the current network of advanced technology, a visual history of humanity's journey from victims to defenders. We don't seek war. We don't want conquest. All we want is to be left in peace. But make no mistake, we remember, we learn, we adapt. Earth's orbit is filled with the remnants of those who thought they could conquer us. Their technology protects us now. Their weapons defend us now. Their mistakes guide us now. The alien ships began to move again, slowly at first, then with increasing speed as they headed for the outer marker of Earth's defense perimeter. Spread the word across the galaxy. Earth is not your battlefield. Earth is not your conquest. Earth is not your testing ground. Earth is where empires learn humility. Earth is where invaders face their own technology turned against them. Earth is where conquest comes to die. The first ships were reaching the faster-than-light jump point. Soon they would all be gone, carrying Earth's message to the stars. Remember this day. Remember what you saw here. Remember that every attack makes us stronger, every invasion makes us smarter, and every piece of technology you bring becomes ours to improve upon. We're ready. We're waiting. And we will never stop learning. The alien fleet disappeared into faster-than-light travel, leaving Earth's space empty once again. But they carried with them more than just a warning. They carried the truth about humanity. A species that refused to be conquered, refused to submit, refused to stay defeated. Officer Mike looked up from his station. "Message boys deployed, sir. They'll broadcast our warning continuously in all known languages." Anderson nodded, looking back at Earth. The blue planet spun peacefully below, protected by technology born from 30 years of attempted conquests. Each weapon platform, each defense satellite, each patrol ship told a story of humanity's greatest strength. Not their weapons, not their technology, but their ability to learn from every defeat, to grow stronger from every attack. "Continue standard patrol pattern," he ordered. "Maintain alert status. Because somewhere out there, someone might not heed the warning. Someone might think they could succeed where others failed. And if they came, Earth would be ready. Ready to defend, ready to adapt, ready to turn their weapons into humanity's next advancement." That was humanity's final warning to the galaxy. Not a threat, but a promise. A promise that every attack would make them stronger, every invasion would make them smarter, and every piece of alien technology would become part of Earth's defense. They were ready, they were waiting, and they would never stop learning.